What's up?
Hi. Hello.
Um, Podcast.
Podcast. It's been a minute.
It has.
I was thinking about that the other day. It's been 2 months, 3 months.
It's funny because it hasn't really been that long since we've
It's
recorded an
been.
episode.
Oh, well, we don't have to talk. Fuck. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's like, what, 2 episodes out there?
Yeah.
Um, anyway, yeah, podcast.
Hi, podcast.
Welcome to 2024.
Yeah. Oh. Nice.
How's your year been so far?
Pretty good. I quit my shitty job, which felt good.
Are we allowed to curse on here?
I've done it many times.
Cool. Good to know.
You know. Been hanging, been chilling.
On trees? Hanging on trees?
Haven't got there quite yet.
Hmm.
How's your year been?
So we should talk about the... No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been good.
Cool.
Yeah, can't complain. But no, let's talk about this,
This movie?
this stuff.
This stuff?
There might be more stuff, but the movie.
Okay. Oppenheimer.
Poppenheimer, yeah.
Poppenheimer.
It's a really good meme.
Okay.
You've seen the meme before, haven't you?
Poppenheimer? I don't
Yeah.
think. I've seen other Oppenheimer memes.
You haven't seen the Poppenheimer?
I don't think so. Maybe. You sent me like a batch that one day.
Yeah, I do be sending batches.
What percentage is this?
100.
No,
100%.
that's not true. I hadn't seen that one.
Come on, I've sent you Poppenheimer.
I don't think you have.
Yeah, every time I hear Oppenheimer, I think Pop. Especially when they were saying Dr. Oppenheimer, because that, I was like, okay, yeah, Pop. That's what I'm thinking about. Anyway. We've just sat down through this.
How long was it, actually? 2.5 hours, maybe?
No, what?
What?
2.5 hours?
How
That
long
feels
was it?
short.
It was 3 hours?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't
Long
know.
movie. Big
Movies.
movie.
Yes.
Yes.
3 hours long.
I think. Sure. Okay. I was definitely. The hype monster got me. Same with Barbie.
I'm not gonna I told you so.
I can't Barbie. Oh, I can't even like talk about Barbie. It was so painful. God. This one was not as painful as Barbie, but
I have two different minds about this movie so far.
okay.
But you can keep going. I just wanted to put that out there.
It was I start with that because I think that definitely like
Influenced?
a lot
Mm-hmm.
for sure. You know, I was excited to watch it, to like talk about it with friends that really loved it and all that. And I did not love it. I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I didn't think it was a bad movie. I understand why it got the acclaim that it did.
Mm-hmm.
It fits.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Okay. Are you about to like get into it? Like, should I do my opening statement first?
Do your opening statement first.
Um, I was not excited for this movie.
Mm.
I didn't really have any plans on seeing it. My plan to see it was, okay, I have to watch the Christopher Nolan movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it in order. Eventually, I'll get to Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the end of the list, so
Yeah.
nothing in me was like, ooh, I need to see this, because it's a historical piece, and I know a little bit about the history,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't really interest me.
Sure.
Excuse you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I feel two different ways about this movie. I'm in two camps right now. As cinema, as film, exceptional.
Yeah.
Filmography,
Right.
cinematography, acting, sound design.
Right. Yeah.
Everything absolutely phenomenal.
That's what I was gonna say.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about Oppenheimer. I don't care about his little scientist friends who had hard-ons for genocide.
Yeah.
I don't care for trying to turn him into a fucking martyr or anything like that. I don't care.
Right.
You're not a victim.
But he's not even the villain at the end of the movie, and he did what he did and is...
There was like this weird tonal shift.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, it's history. It literally happened. I mean...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We're going to talk about history.
U.S.
historical
history,
events.
From the past 60 years.
In case you're not quite here yet.
No, there was this weird tonal shift near the end when we got back, like after he tells the story of what happened, essentially, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back to the black and white scene where it's like at the trial. It's like, oh, everyone's now on Oppenheimer's side. It's like, it felt very strange. I'm like, before then, it felt very neutral. Like it was just telling what happened.
Sure.
And then at that point, it kind of feels like it takes Oppenheimer's side in this way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because we're seeing it from the perspective of these people, or because it has to fit this narrative of like the guy who tried to fuck Oppenheimer over to get the cabinet seat or whatever. I didn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked if the movie was more neutral. Or even fucking negative.
Negative, yeah.
Because
let's be real.
From Get, okay, he's having trouble sleeping, whatever. He's having issues in the lab. You're gonna fucking poison your teacher with cyanide? What the fuck is this? What?
Just gonna gloss right over.
It's just so
It's not a big deal.
I said I was like, yeah, okay, this sets up the whole thing for me. Like, okay, yeah. Of course you would do this because you're a maniac.
Yeah,
that's.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, I don't know that it felt very neutral for me as we were watching it. Maybe it was neutral. Or I guess it was neutral. And in my head, I'm condemning, and so it seems less neutral than it maybe actually was.
Okay.
I don't know that it was necessarily positive, but it wasn't negative, which...
You feel like it should have been negative?
It should have been. Not like... it didn't
not
need to be
demonize him.
Yeah, it didn't need to be like a whole villain story or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a bit much, but...
He's like, I want to murder people. How big can we make this bomb?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought... So I'm thinking about the wife.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
something to be desired there. I don't know. I felt like I thought they would have done more with her at the end of the movie. What exactly, I don't know. But, like, she was real as fuck.
You didn't think her little interrogation scene was enough? You wanted more?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know what more I could have wanted, I guess, or they could have done, but interrogation scene was fine. It was cool. Her thing at the end where she was like, you can't tar and feather yourself for forgiveness or whatever, was apropos. I don't know.
It's difficult because, again, it is a historical piece.
Yeah.
So it's like, they got to stay within those reins. But you gave me an idea when you said that. It would have been cool for them to take it to a more psychological level. If we're going to make this movie about Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And they say at least twice in the movie, in the beginning, and someone else mentions it near the end, about this allusion to Prometheus stealing the fire and forever being imprisoned and tortured. We could have leaned into that a little bit more.
We could have leaned into that.
Like, after the bombs drop, they do it a little bit.
They do it a little. I thought they were gonna, from the very beginning of the movie, when he's like, he has all these
the visions of the fusion and the fission
and all of this. Yeah, I thought they were really, and towards the beginning of the movie, like the stomping, like it seems like it's fucking with his head, but like we don't super get into it, or like.
Yeah, they just go and absolve him at the end, essentially.
Yeah, it's just like alluded to but never directly discussed between the actual characters.
We should have got into that shit.
Yeah.
His mind should have been when those bombs dropped, his mind should have been a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
Like, should have tore him asunder. That would have been interesting to see, I think. And, again, it is a historical piece, so it doesn't even have to be based in reality. Like, it can really just be shit going on in his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, I think about, so when you said that, I questioned, like, how much did they deviate from history? What were the boundaries? And then I thought about, I think it's just called Maryland. I don't know. The movie.
Not the state.
No. Okay. Maryland, as in Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
The most recent movie they made about her, and that one is definitely they took a lot of liberties. But I think a lot of it is more so focused on, the psychological effects of her career, which is why I found it so enjoyable. So yeah, I think that would have.
I think there was an aspect to that as well to Billie Holiday's recent movie.
Huh?
Billie Holiday's recent movie.
Oh yeah.
Not a large one, but I feel like they kind of played around with that a little bit when they got to the drugs and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing because we don't know.
Right.
For sure.
We know what happened historically.
Right.
But it's interesting to kind of conceptualize and play around with what could have been happening on the inside, because that's stuff we wouldn't know. And it's nice to tell stories about people who weren't the best of people, I feel like those stories still need to be told, because on the one hand it's like, I don't care about this guy, but on the other hand, like I was saying during the movie, he had a lot of power, and if that math was off, terrifying.
Terrifying.
Could you imagine,
So fucked up.
the billions of people around the world. All of our lives in this fucking guy's hands.
Handful of people, one person. Crazy.
You could have roasted the atmosphere.
It's fucking crazy.
That was fucking me up. Like, they're about to do the test, and he's like, yeah, I mean, there's a possibility. It's not small. I mean, it's small. It's a small possibility. It's close to zero.
Yeah, it's not zero.
But like,
it's close.
I would have called off the test immediately. Like, no, we're not doing this.
Well, again, he's fucking psychotic. Jeez.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, like you said, the cinematography was great. The spacey wacy fusion stuff was beautiful.
Yeah, nice. I like when they talked about the nature of matter and how it's mostly nothing.
I don't even remember when they talked about that.
I think it was like maybe a party scene. He's talking to a girl, and he was saying how like everything that makes up our universe, you know, on a subatomic level, essentially, it's mostly empty space.
Right.
But the connection between it,
Yeah.
you know, helps us to feel physicality. You know, we're kind of like stars in that way, which is interesting. Stuff I think about a lot, but I thought it was cool that was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about, or maybe they don't. I don't know. I think they could have talked about the science of things more. Or maybe it just went over my head. I feel like there's like a lot of writing stuff down.
I thought that they talked about the science stuff a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it did, but then I was like, I don't know, maybe it could have been done more, or maybe I just didn't follow a lot of it.
I don't know that I was gonna say, as you were talking, I thought about, like, I enjoyed the sciencey discussions and stuff. Mm-hmm. Did I fully follow it? No. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe because, you know, there are a bunch of like quantum physicists like deep in the shit, so they're already working with, like, they're beyond the basics, so they're not discussing.
Yeah, they're not explaining.
Yeah. And again, the focus is the bomb. But I enjoyed those parts of the movie where they were purely just like conceptualizing, brainstorming, all of that.
It was weird for me having everyone cheering as the quote unquote successes. Like,
it's like
the delusion here is
so, like, that sense of reality is so strange. Yeah.
It's interesting that, like, a thought I had during it was how how the United States contextualizes things that we dislike, like, all you need to destroy someone's career, their livelihood, their life, is to just attribute to them to whatever's, like, quote unquote bad in the moment. Like, oh, he's a communist. Yeah.
Fucking burn him at the stake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting how we do that. But I don't really have much else to say about the movie. I mean, I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it handled the time well. I didn't really start to feel the time of it till we were at the end. But yeah, it was whatever.
I don't really watch historical pieces like that, or even like movies. This isn't a war movie, but anything kind of related to war movies and stuff. I don't really watch. It kept me interested, given that it's a topic or a type of genre of movie that I don't really engage with a whole lot. Yeah, it was cool. I wish I liked it more. I can't lie. I wish a bit of disappointment, but it's okay. Maybe like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you give it a number score?
Maybe a 7.5. It's a good movie.
Yeah, personally, and then like technically, it's a very different question.
Sure. Yeah.
Technically, I mean, I suppose it's flawless. You know.
Yeah. Right.
I'm excited to like, as we move into the future of visual effects, to see what things from the past we'll be able to see that we could have never seen. Like the explosion of an atomic bomb.
Right. Yeah.
It's interesting stuff. Withholding my personal opinion, I could maybe give it like an 8.
Okay.
I give it some more up there. It was a pretty solid movie.
That's withholding your personal opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. What about?
I mean, I'd never watch this movie again. I have nothing to garner from it.
Yeah, I would not. Yes, let it be clear. I would not watch this movie again either.
I'd give it like personally, like 5, very middle of the line. Like maybe a 6, because like, again, I feel like up to a certain point it was really cool. They're focusing on a lot of the science. It feels objective in this sort of way. The ending just kind of threw me for a loop. And I feel like they could have done more with what they had.
Sure.
It feels like at the end they kind of pivot away from that and focused on this other aspect of the story of like, oh, here's the villain. He spun the story about
so fucking
Oppie.
lame.
Like, so whatever.
Y'all are all villains, by the way. By the way, but okay, whatever.
And then they kind of try to address it again way at the end with Albert Einstein, like, oh, you know,
yeah,
they're gonna do all this stuff for you, but it's not for you, it's for them. But yeah, I mean, whatever.
That was weird. I feel like they. I was gonna say I feel like they portrayed Albert not great, but he was doing his own thing. I'm glad they left him out as much as they did.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was cool in there.
That last bit with him wasn't what I expected, I guess. It was fine.
Well, I mean, do you understand that historical context around it? Because he was also involved in the part of the part of it before that part.
Yeah. Right.
But he stepped away from it, if I understand correctly. He was kind of like, this shit ain't for me. We stepped into something that is not great. And then I think I'm good. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool that he was kind of just hanging around the peripheral.
Sure. Yeah, that's all I got about it.
Anything else we have to talk about? Or is this just a Pop Oppenheimer episode?
I don't know.
I think it can just be Oppenheimer. It doesn't need to be more than that.
Okay.
A little quickie.
Yeah. Cool.
25 minutes, but yeah.
That's good.
It's quick.
Yeah. Usually like an hour and a half podcast episode, so.
Because there's two of us.
Yes.
How do we sign these off?
We just say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Be safe.
What if we don't love them?
I do.
Okay.
I love you.